Hey guys, Saf coming at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So there was a guaranteed summons event this week during Clan versus Clan for one of the new champions we had in 5.7, and I would say probably one of the most valuable new champions that they've added in 5.7. So why is Ragash so good? Well, typically in Skinwalkers factions, there is not that many good options for champions to do specific roles. Now, if we have a look at the quick faction here, we can see there's a lot of powerful champions. Most of them tend to be Void legendaries, you know, Leorius, Tumacia, Coronar. But when we actually look at how many champions here actually have decreased defense on an AoE 100% chance, that kind of regularity you want for most scenarios, specifically in Faction Wars, you pretty much got Coronar. Coronar's got a decreased defense on all targets under decreased attack, and that is a 100% chance unbooked on a 4-turn cooldown. If you got Coronar, you are sorted. Leo does a single target and he does a lot of damage. He does an AoE weaken, but he does not do the AoE decreased defense. Neither does Tumacia, but again, Tumacia is very strong. Oh, it does have a chance of placing 100%. So Tumacia, so if you pull one of the Void legendaries, you are good. However, if you look at the rest of the faction, you can see it's a little bit weak. They've already mentioned in a previous raid digest that adding Skinwalkers is a priority for them. And this is the reason why. If we have a look at the faction, it's quite small. If you compare it to something like Sacred Order, Sacred Order is rocking 72 champions now. Skinwalkers is rocking 34. It is the smallest faction in the game right now. And if we have a look here, what have we got? So Fleshmonger can do AoE decreased defense, but it's 75% chance. It's not 100%. It's on a 4-turn cooldown as well. Outside of that, there is 0 champions here. There's no epics that do it. These legendaries here that we've had in the game don't do it. The other thing we have a problem with is reasonably good damage dealers. Scabbers is pretty good, but in terms of the epics, Taurus is not going to do a lot of damage. He does the poisons, and that's his role. Flesh Tearer is kind of a healer more than anything else. Not a very good option. Ripper is a single target nuker, isn't going to do a lot of damage here. Rhine Beast is a tank healer. Snorting Thug, again, like it's a single target. They're all single target niche. Yaga, you get him as a free champion. He's not that useful. The bears are pretty good. The black bear specifically for 3-star in 21 is quite powerful because it's an AoE decreased attack if you're struggling for options. And then obviously Hoffris is the reviver. So you end up in the situation where Fane is the main damage dealer. Basher could do it, but it's mainly Fane. And then obviously everyone gets Cleopteryx once you get past the sort of initial champions and you get to the new recurring champions that we have in the sort of post 210 days. So you've got Cleo as an AoE. Now the main problem with this, they are both spirit affinity, and in stage 20 of Faction Wars, which is what most people will farm, you have the double Thanasil, triple Cythalia wave, and they are weak affinity to Cythalia. So you end up in this position where you often can't auto it because you haven't got enough damage to overcome that kind of mass healing that you get in that scenario. So why is Ragash good? So Ragash is still spirit, not great for that stage 20. However, on his AoE, his A2, it's a 3-turn cooldown. He will place decreased defense first. That means any affinity will work here. It shouldn't weak hit. It should even work through things like Poison Cloud, because it will apply it first. The other champion that does this similarly is a champion I've covered on this channel before, Gwyneth. So Gwyneth is a Doom Tower epic. There she is. On her A2, she will place weaken before attacking. This guarantees that these champions will do that role without affinity issues, without debuffs. The only thing that can stop it is probably block debuffs, stone skin, those sorts of things. Once he's placed that, he will then attack all enemies. He then also has a chance of stunning, which is 100% chance. That is affinity check. So the first part is fine. That's affinity neutral. It can do whatever you want. The second part, that is affinity specific. So that can weak hit, and therefore, you know, just keep that in mind. It is 100% chance though. The other nice thing about Ragash, he provides his own increased defense buff. You don't need to bring a secondary increased defense. Then we have a bit of cool little shenanigans with his kit. On his A3, 4-turn cooldown, AoE increased speed, AoE increased strength, AoE strengthen, and he will also place a perfect veil on himself. This is nice in terms of Hydra, in terms of content in the game. Speed buff is always good. It would have been nice if it was a 3-turn cooldown. Unfortunately, a 4-turn cooldown is kind of awkward for clan boss specifically. You want a 3-turn to enable that 2-1. But on a 4-turn cooldown, you're getting a good amount of buff for 2 turns. If you take the Mastery for a chance to extend that, lasting gifts, you could get it even higher. The other cool thing about him is his passive. So his passive will apply a perfect veil at the start of his turn. So you have to take a turn to the champion with the highest attack. So if you are using him in arena as your decreased defense and stun champion, very, very powerful role to do that. You get control and a debuff. He doesn't buff strip, so that needs to be kept in mind. But if there's no block debuffs out or stone skin, that will work. He will also protect your nuker. So if your nuker gets cut in, they can't attack the nuker without a buff strip. Whether or not that's very useful, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to really test him yet. I literally just looked at his kit and thought, that could be quite useful. I've heard rumors of some people using protection set in arena to basically protect the veil so it can't be buff stripped. It's not terrible considering he also does increase speed and strength, and as well as a perfect veil on himself. The other nice thing, he will increase his damage by 20%. So that's a flat 20% damage increase. That's really powerful against targets whose defense are lower than this champion's defense. Now, if he's defense based, he's got an increased defense, unless you're facing champions that are defense buffed also in a similar manner. So for example, in a PvE content, if you're fighting Thanasil and he puts his defense buff out, then obviously this passive will probably be disabled against champions that have 7,000 defense. But in general scenarios, as long as you have decreased defense out, this passive will be online. That's a 20% damage stimulus. That's extremely powerful. This turns him in from a strong damage dealer to a godlike damage dealer, and probably the second best defense-based nuker after Solus, if not potentially on par. There's affinity issues, there's other things. Solus has more conditions around how many debuffs are out, but it's still pretty good. So the question is, should you go for the 150? Now, by the time this video has come out, that question will be sort of mute, dumb, because the event is past. But when I was trying to make this decision myself, I was pretty low on ancient shards. We just did the 1+1, so ancient shards were a bit awkward. However, I think this champion was 100% worth it for me specifically, because I don't have those void legendaries and skinwalkers, and Skinwalker Faction Wars is still my most painful one. What I'm going to do now is I did a shard pull with Fiction streaming again, trying to get his partner status working, getting back after TwitchCon, really into it, and we were just talking about it, and we pulled my shards on his stream. So the next bit of the video is just going to be that happening, and you will see how painful those shard pulls were. So 150 shards for Tony the Tiger. Are we ready? I'll do 151 plus 2 void shards because,
Yeah.
What do we reckon then? 1+1? How many do you reckon? I don't think we're going to get any.
I think you're going to get one in addition. Yeah.
I think I'm going to just get Tony the Tiger. We'll find out. Last time I did it for one random 10 pull for some points, I did get a legendary. I got Silver Drakes. Just randomly. Chancellor Yasmin. I still think I can make a team out of Chancellor Yasmin. That A2 heal on a 2-turn cooldown is kind of nutty. Oh, look at all the blue. Look at all the blue.
Paying the tax, it's fine.
Hey, a goat. I actually thought, I was watching Hell Hades' video the other day, or earlier, and when he pulled the goat, he got really excited. I thought he got gold, and then I was like, oh no, he's just got a goat. And then the whole video was like, look, I haven't got this many goats when it was goat day. I was like, I didn't realize we were calling it goat day now. Look, another goat.
Another one.
Confusion with just goats. I do feel like bad inside for pulling these shards. This is a lot of money for Tony the Tiger, but it's Tony the Tiger. He's great. So far, your prediction that I'm going to get a legendary isn't going very well.
No, you're going to get one. You're going to get one. Jizzo.
I really need to change that name. It's like so bad. I haven't even got a useful epic. I don't even know if I need a useful epic, to be honest. I wouldn't mind Hall's Ring. I don't really... Or the new guy, Shemnath. I would love the new one, Shemnath, but... Oh, this is brutal.
Oh, there's the tags. Jesus.
Brutal. It is really brutal. I feel defiled, and I feel like a sinner, actually. I need that. Come on. Scabbers. I only got one of those. Don't need another one. I feel like I'm just going to get Tony the Tiger. I don't know how deep I am. But we're pretty deep now. Must be near the end now. I think it's just going to be Tony the Tiger. I think it is. Nizana, not a bad option.
It's going to push you close to the Mercy either way.
Someone I was recommending to Hell Hades for his Hydra push that'll happen in the next couple of days was Nazana. Oh, come on, not a full blue tank. Oh! Oh, it's Tony the Tiger!
No.
Oh,
I got excited. Shards. I thought it was something else. I thought you had like another one before him. Well, you got him.
Tony the Tiger.
Pull them one more and you get a legendary.
Well, I'm close to Mercy now. I'm 150 deep.
Yep.
Pull the Void. Build up the Mercy. Oh. 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 Lua actually hits really hard.
I know, she hits so hard.
One Sacred for Joy.
Oh, really?
Oh. Well, it's because it was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like
stag night.
Alright, well.
Let's have a look at him then.
Here he is. Tony the Tiger.
Nice.
You know what we do with Tony the Tiger?
Max him out.
Max him out. I should use food, but I can't partial level him. There he is, Tony the Tiger. Does he have an ascendancy perk? No, that's fine. Sometimes you don't want to ascend him too quickly because... Not that I have any potions to ascend. No. But there he is, Tony the Tiger.
Ready to go.
Little bottle there. You know, his little swag bottle.
Where are you going to use him?
I probably will do a clan boss team with him, honestly. I reckon I could just... Oops. I reckon I could just literally slot him in this team, take out her, put in Tony the Tiger, and watch him rip it to pieces.
Who are you swapping him out for?
Alika.
Oh, okay, cool.
This team, I can basically put anyone in Alika's spot, and it can just be whatever you want, basically. The nice thing about him is, obviously, he self-buffs on the A1. That's what's powerful about him, is he gives himself the self-buff, which means that he does damage himself, but he also does increase speed.
Yeah.
So now, if this was a 3-turn cooldown, we'd be having lots more interesting conversations, because a 3-turn increased speed allows you to run a 2-1. So I have 60'd my Ragash. I have built him in a build, and I'm going to go over that in a second, and I've got Masteries up until the tier 6. So it's been quite a busy day for me today. Now, as I mentioned in the first part, there are 2 ways you can build Ragash and use him. He's a bit like Astralon in that sense. He is capable of being a straight damage deal nuker. You could build him purely damage, use that A2, use that A1. If you do that, you're probably going to want to bring a defense buffer with him. Someone like a Sifi, someone like a Doomscreech. Mithrala is also a great option. You could run him as go second, but he doesn't really have any mechanics like Candrathon has or other champions that actually mitigate his damage. Although if you run him with a Necret, you know, something like Necret, Mithrala, Ragash, it's a pretty powerful team to get going. I'm building him purely as a nuker. That's what I've built him here. However, you could build him as purely as a debuffer, you know, focus accuracy, perception sets, get himself into maybe immunity or stone skin, and really just use him for this A2 ability so that I can place decreased defense and stun all my targets, and then bring a follow-up nuke to deal with him in arena. You can build him in this kind of sort of damage build for PvE as well, as long as you just have enough accuracy in your build. For me, I can get there pretty much quickly because I've got great hold maxed. I've got some masteries in here. Empowerment would help. If I had faction guardians, that would help also, but I don't for this faction. But you can see I'm already at, 196, and I've not really focused accuracy too much. I think I've got a bit here. I mean, this could be glyphed up a little bit, to be honest. Probably deserves a little bit more there. And, you know, I've prioritized damage really heavily. This piece of stone skin here, I got that today. That was pretty cool. Pretty much a triple roll crit rate, although the rolls weren't exactly crazy, and that roll on accuracy is actually quite useful here in this context, but in the context of this piece, it would have been better on speed or a crit damage. And I have got him in Savage here, which is pretty nice. So what are the stats we're talking about here? I haven't done Masteries yet. We're going to do that live, but I've built him for damage. So I've gone for around about 200 speed. I did index some accuracy because I want to use him in Faction Wars. I would have liked a little bit more, and I might have to index a little bit more into that. 263% crit damage and 4,811 defense. In terms of masteries, as I said, you could build him more support or defense, whichever you want. I would prefer support because I'm going to be building him in Clan Boss in the next video. And that Clan Boss team has got block damage, so defense is not very useful. And let's have a look in terms of his 2. So he's a double hitter and a single hitter. If you were to build him with the intention of running him in PvE, not PvP, you would probably want to go War Master in this instance because he doesn't do enough hits to warrant the Giant Slayer. I would say War Master is more regular. It can be 50-50, but because his A2 is a single hit, it would be better with War Master. So I'm going to build him in a nuking capacity here. So we're probably going to go for a... let's see. Well, we're going to go down here. We're going to unlock Law of Steel, and then we are going to go... We could do Ruthless Ambush. I kind of want to build in more PvE than PvP in this instance, to be honest. So I'm probably going to go down for the War Master route here. So we're going to go straight down the left. Methodical. This is a PvE build. I'm not really planning on using him right now for Arena because that would require me to build a whole team around him, which I don't really have a lot of defense-based nukers to warrant. So we're going to go for Life Drinker, and then we're going to go for Cycle of Violence. And then for the final 2 slots, I could go for a Kill Streak, or I could go for a Master Hexer to try and keep the decreased defense on longer, or I could go sort of down this left-hand side here, pick up Spirit Haste, and then just pick up Lasting Gifts if I wanted the extension of the buffs that he does. But that's going to do that. So we've now probably got a little bit more. I don't think actually the set gives us anything in particular. Maybe a little bit more HP from that set there. So that's the build we're going to go for. Now what I want to do is kind of show you the main reason why I wanted this champion. I'm going to run Faction Wars here for you. And I'm going to run stage 20. I would normally run stage 21 because we're in clan versus clan, but for this purpose of testing, I'm going to run stage 20. I'm going to show you the challenges that you can have in dealing with stage 20 here. And then I'm going to show you the run when I swap out one of the nukers for Ragash. So the issue with stage 20 here is the first wave is kind of awkward to get past. You've got a lot of Cethalias and Thanassals. These heal quite a lot. So if I was to just run this in auto, you'll see the issue. So we get a good kind of proc out of here. We kill off one Thanassal. Cool. Get a provoke out. That's awesome. And then we're going to start seeing these issues here. Now, hopefully Cleopteryx does a bit of job. She could block, but she's only blocked the one. So now you're going to see the issue with Skinwalkers here. If you didn't kill all 3 of those Cethalias, they're about to go and get nice and comfortable, and they're going to heal each other fully up. There goes the first one, heal. And this is the chain reaction you can see here. Now, obviously, if you have more damage dealers like Brachus, then this becomes easier. Coronar, all these other champions, they could outburst them. But you can see the chain here. And this is what I meant by the AI. The AI is picking the target with block buffs. So not only have we got weak affinity here, we've also got idiotic AI picking champions, which we could debuff, but we can't. And now we've got this battle to try and basically kill off one of these Cethalias. Once one goes, there's a chance to do this. But this could go on for a while because they will continue to cycle. And the fact that both damage dealers are negative affinity here means it could take a while to actually kill these. We've managed to kill one. Cleo is doing some work now finally. We might actually kill them all here, but we're still going. And it's just slow and really frustrating. So how does Ragash fix this problem? So Ragash is coming as lead here. Now Ragash basically can place AoE decreased defense. Hopefully he's faster than Cleopteryx. Oh, well, that's helpful. He's going to do his A3 first. But it shouldn't matter because he should do... That's the damage I wanted. There we go. Look how quickly it's killed it. 18 seconds. We were on 1 minute 30 before, just waiting for it to die. And now we're basically through this first wave. We are killing it slowly, very slowly. Now, Ragash is not booked here in this instance, so we're losing a bit of damage, losing a bit of reliability. Second wave here, we have some freezes. Now, obviously by now, if he was booked, I would have AoE'd again. But I should have another opportunity because we are using that provoke there. So we should be able to go after this turn and AoE decrease defense and AoE stun once more. There we go. Boom. Massive amounts of damage and the wave is dead. So we're at the final wave at 1 minute, which is actually really, really good. Now it's a case of what we don't want to happen is we don't really want the block damage to come up, but I think it will because I don't think we're going to have any control in time. Maybe we can kill off. No. So now we're just going to have to wait, unfortunately. It's a really frustrating combination of champions, and hopefully we don't lose too much of our team to do it. I do love that animation as he pounces forward. Tony the Tiger, as we're going to call him. This will be forever known as Tony the Tiger now. Anyone in the UK knows Frosties. They're great. Tony the Tiger will be doing some damage shortly. The block damage buffs are falling off. Now, obviously, I could probably run more offensively. I could drop the Smash Lord. I could drop him out for someone like Longbeard because I do have him. That could be a potential fix. But you can see here, I'm probably going to break my record without even setting it up properly at around about 2 minutes. Cleo doing a bit of damage there. Now, every time, obviously, Ragash takes a turn, Cleo gets protected, so she can't be killed, which is really nice. That's my record best time, 2:10. Now, let's take a look at whether or not he can speed up stage 21, which is obviously more important. Now, stage 21 for me was a 12-minute run. That's my record. Can we get any faster than 12 minutes? We're going to need a healer here probably, and we've got a reviver, so we're going to run the same team, but I'm just going to manual the first wave just to see if we can do this in a quicker speed. Now, the first wave is obviously pretty average. There's nothing like the last wave. I just want to do that quickly, get that out of the way, and then we're just going to AoE drop these down. The annoying thing with Cleopteryx is her A2 is actually better, but she likes to use her A3. You want the A2 first for the buffs, so you end up in this weird position that the A2 does more damage, but she likes to prioritize A3. It's very weird. But we're just going to kill off this wave, and then we'll see how quickly we can do the boss. Now, I remember back in the day, before I even had Longbeard, before Cleopteryx, I had to do stage 21 and it took me 20 minutes. And this was back in the day with CVC, where faction wars was actually really important, and it just ruined my soul. It's the most despised stage in this game for me. So you can see that the impact Ragash is having here, he is ruining these waves. He is destroying them. This is why I think as a guaranteed champion, out of all the champions in 5.7, there were some really interesting ones. Hefrak, a lot of people were talking about. I personally really want Shemnath. I'll never get the champion, but you never know. But Ragash, as an option here, he's probably the better of the three defensive nukers we had. You know, Kira the Watch is more of a protector. Godfred is pretty much an average nuker, but he was the one that stood out to me. So with this boss, I shouldn't have buffed it. That's probably going to get me killed, but it's okay. We want to kill that left ad as quickly as possible because he will obviously stun, and we do not want... You'll provoke. We don't want that. Now, the only problem is here, kind of buffed the bot myself, so the boss is going to take all these buffs, and it could actually kill me. I really didn't think of this. That was a bad play by me. Let's just do that. We can use our buffs now. Let's hope nobody dies. Probably everyone's going to die. Now, we can cleanse and see if we can heal up here. That leech will give us a bit of a boost. Doing killable just so he doesn't die. Oh, it's borderline. One more turn. Strengthen up. Nice thing about him being defense-based, he's quite easy to keep alive. He also has that strengthen. So in this scenario, strengthen is probably going to keep my team alive. Hopefully. This would not be the way you would run this normally. Normally you would have saved your buffs. I just messed up. See, the impact now of the new Hex debuff is not crazy. It's not a crazy amount. Okay, well, we've lost our reviver. This could be a bit dodge. And it's also the heal boss. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to restart this. We'll see now. Maybe Ragash can just keep himself going. I'm just going to give myself decreased defense here now, and it's going to probably one-shot everyone. Right, let's see if he can solo it. Maybe he can duo it. You never know. You never know. He's got a lot of damage. Right, I'm going to let this run through, and then I'm going to jump back in. If this doesn't work, we're going to start again, and we're going to see how we go, and we'll see how much time we actually made it to. Remember, it's 12 minutes. We're going to see if we can get it lower than 12 minutes. Well, I have to say, I'm massively... Ragash basically soloed it on his own in the end. 5 minutes and 5. So I took my record time of 12 minutes down to 5 because of the impact of Ragash. The Veil buff was actually pretty powerful, as was the increased defense. He was just not taking a lot of damage, and he just kind of rinsed the boss in the end. Pretty impressive. So that is Ragash. Now I'm going to do a clan boss run with him next, just so you can sort of see how he could work in a clan boss team. I have my standard team. I'm just going to throw him in and see how it works. I probably will disable his A3 just for damage, just to see how much he can do really. But you can see, like, instantly I've already improved my account. Yes, it's a big investment, 150 ancients, but if you prepared for it, you were ready for it, he's probably really worth the 150 ancients. He's a really good designed, well-balanced champion that can function in two roles. If you don't need another defense-based nuker, he's a guaranteed AoE decreased defense with 100% chance for a stun depending on affinity, alongside those speed buffs and the quirky little passive that you have there. So you have options with him. You can play him two ways. I'm currently playing him as like a PvE nuker carry style champion, but he could end up transitioning for me over to a 100% stun champion with that fun passive to try and keep my nuker alive. So that's the end of the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that content. I don't like to promote spending in this extent in this game in terms of like pulling for 150, but I think a lot of players now are starting to prepare in advance and hold back these shards so that you're ready for these guaranteed champions. They're doing them a lot often, and I actually think the 1+1 events, the guaranteed champion events, are actually better than the ×2 events, just because you're getting more certainty around what you're getting. In the 1+1 event, it's technically the same odds as a ×2, but you only have to roll that odd once. Once you get the legendary, you're guaranteed to get another legendary. You don't have to wait for the odds again. In this scenario, you know what champion you're getting. If this champion is really good for you, good for your account, then it's worth the 150 ancients invested. I obviously would have liked another legendary with my 150 ancient shards. Didn't get one. However, this event didn't take my mercy counter. So now I know I'm about 50 ancients away from kind of like that mercy point where you start getting really close to a guaranteed legendary, which I could use at a ×10. I could maybe use in the upcoming ×2, but I don't have any ancient shards left, so we're talking very little there. But these events are pretty cool. That was Tony the Tiger. Pretty cool. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, which will be a really cool milestone to hit very soon. Yeah, we'll catch you in the next video.